Welcome back, guys. If you're new to the channel, this is the racks and chests only challenge run. So we're playing through on an assassin from normal act 1 all the way to act 5 hell on hardcore, and the items that we are using are only from chests and racks and nothing else. So last episode we got to lower Kurast, and this is where I wanted to do one of the big farming sessions. Nothing too big because it is normal lower Kurast, but we were hoping for some small stuff like maybe a stealth setup, or maybe leaf rune word setup, stuff like that. Maybe some new jewelry, because really we were using what we got from like early act 2. Nothing much. We really aren't going to get too lucky from chests and racks in normal, but anything to help us through act 4 and act 5. And we did get some small runes, nothing crazy. Obviously, I will show the entirety at the end of all of this. But one of the biggest things, I'd say, like the big ticket item that we actually did get was this trap amulet, which is just absolutely fantastic. I wasn't expecting to get anything that was going to give us plus the skills, so I was really happy to see that. Overall, is it worth it to farm normal lower Kurast? Probably not. But for this challenge, 100% worth it for me to just spend an easy, quick hour, get ourselves a little bit of a better position for Act 4. Alright guys, quick overview of some of the stuff that we got from lower Kurast. So obviously, we ended up with a bunch of low runes. We actually managed to get Tal Eth for that stealth, so all we need is to find a 2 socket armor for that, which sadly we didn't. And we found the Tyr, but not the Ral rune for Leaf. It was also almost impossible to find a white staff, so I didn't find any staffs that weren't like magic or rare. Unfortunately, means no bases, so we're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. I don't think that racks can spawn staffs, so I don't know what we're gonna do about that. Hopefully we just get lucky off of a chest. Another thing we got was a lot of rejuve potions, which is fantastic because we were not doing well on those, and some jewels as well. I did find this 9 res amulet, but obviously we replaced it with the trap amulet, and the gear, nothing amazing, but you know, a little bit of upgrades. We actually have rare rings now, so our mana problems are gone, and still looking for gloves. Still looking for gloves. The inventory is also looking a little bit better, but again, nothing crazy. Listen guys, it was normal lower Kurast. We weren't hoping for much, but just thought I'd give you a little bit of an overview before we move on with that 4. Let's get into it, and we're not going to do forge because that's obviously not a chest or a rack, so we're really just going to be powering through this act. There he is. Definitely feeling the extra mana from some of the upgrades we got. Having 107 mana is way nicer. Obviously, we're still chugging potions like crazy, but much, much better. Damage is still pretty good, so I'm not really worried at all about Act 4. I'm very excited for Nightmare, though, because not to say that Lower Kurast was a huge disappointment, but we definitely didn't get anything huge. The Trap Amulet was definitely exciting, but we need a lot more. There we go. 2 skill points. Can't go wrong with that, though. Cannot go wrong with that. 21 mana here, 4 mana here, 4 energy here. Love it. Sweet. Okay, so 2 skill points. Put them both into Wake of Fire. How close are we to maxing that? Oh, actually, we can't. Okay, so we just do synergies then. Now, a part of me wants to keep going into Burst of Speed. I mean, 6% run walk per level is pretty good. But honestly, our damage is falling off a little bit now that we're in Act 4, so I'm just going to keep going for synergies from 84 to 92. Not insane, but I think it's a good idea. There we go. Beautiful. I just love how short this act is. Now, I know it's an unfinished act, and it would be really cool to see what it would have been like if they actually put the time into finishing it. But I do just love knowing that when we get to Act 4, it's a nice, chill playthrough. Okay, like I said, we're skipping the Forge, so straight to the Chaos Sanctuary. Alright guys, River of Flame waypoint has been acquired. And as always, we're going to show the whole playthrough of this section of Act 4, because you know what, it's a really, really quick act, and it also kind of gives you guys a little bit of a check-in on how this is actually going. Because for the most part, I'm not really showing too much of the struggles unless I have like really close calls and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Our damage is pretty good. Wake of Fire, obviously, I love it. The only issue is if we run into fire immunes, and now I'm thinking the ghosts. Is that going to be fire immune? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I always forget in normal when it comes to immunities. Sometimes I'm expecting it and then it's not, and sometimes I'm not expecting it and it is, and it causes a huge problem. But see, normally we could just use our mercenary, but of course, silly me, I have not been keeping mercenary gear. We haven't used our Act 2 mercenary since Act 2 because he was just dying and I couldn't afford to keep bringing him back. And then when I was doing lower Kurast, I was not paying attention to that, which I really should have been. But you live and you learn. Maybe we find a couple chests and we can get a spear or a pole arm for him. Ooh. A fire. You gotta really look out for fire damage in normal. The scaling for monster fire damage, like, oh, like that. And some of the Act 3 mobs as well. It's really scary. And then all of a sudden not so bad once you get to normal and Nightmare. But yeah, as you can see, we go through potions like freaking juice. God, what are we at? 10% fire res. It's just not enough. We pretty much can't stand still. And the problem I find with Wake of Fire is that the faster the enemies move to chase you, the harder they are to hit with the Wake of Fire. When they're standing still, obviously it's no problem, but some of the faster enemies, I feel like with Lightning Sentry, the lightning is a much quicker projectile. So you don't run into that issue nearly as much. Maybe if we just play a little bit off screen like this. There we go. The corridors help a lot too. Nice. Very good. Okay, we obviously need potions already. Luckily, and I think I forgot to mention this, but we did get a good amount of gold. So, 212k. Definitely going to keep us in the running for having potions. But it goes quickly. Hopefully it just lasts us till Nightmare Act 1. And then once we're in Nightmare Act 1, we go back to farming. And the loot changes. I have really high hopes for Nightmare. Hopefully I'm not let down though. Obviously it's going to depend on some pretty huge RNG. Not too bad as long as we keep moving and we don't just stand there and take fire shots to the face. Okay, fire immune? Yes, fire immune. Okay. So that is not great because like I said, we just do not have a lick of gear for this guy. And he's still level 14, so actually I think we want to go back and get a new one. Hopefully he can take him out. Do we have shockweb? No, we literally have nothing but fire. Yikes. Okay. I think we go for blessed aim here. Just because I'm trying to think how can we get this guy to hit. And let's hope that this works. How much damage do you do? Oh, not bad at all, actually. Mercenaries are broken. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to keep this in mind for the future, but I'm glad this worked out. Luckily, these ghosts, they don't have very high health. So, nothing to worry about. Beautiful, thank you, Niraj. I doubt he stays alive for the rest of the run, but hopefully I'm wrong. Might come in handy. I can't wait to get some plus skill points because the burst of speed, not only is it kind of slow, just because it's only level 1. But it also doesn't last very long, which sucks. Nice. Ah, the Thul. Damn it, that would be so nice. Obviously, we're looking for spirit runes as of... Well, I guess as of now. I mean, technically, I think any point from now forward, if we get a crystal sword, broadsword, or longsword from a rack, it should roll 4 sockets. Are we going to get that lucky? Probably not. But at least we know it's possible. I think at this point, the runes are going to be harder to get. We're not going to be able to get the runes from Act 5, Saving the Barbarians, because that's not a rack or a chest. And yeah, our only other option is to get really lucky on chests, right? Like, considering how unlucky we got in the lower Kurast, I'm not too confident about this. So, oh, come on, stay alive, buddy. Nice, he's actually pretty good. Okay, let's get potions before we do Diablo, and then hopefully Niraj can keep himself alive for long enough that we're done with the act. Obviously, Diablo can be a huge pain. Like, he can one-shot, especially if you get locked in. Like, I don't know, if he makes us cold and then locks us into a trap laying animation or something. But let's just hope Niraj can keep him in one spot. The other downside of Wake of Fire is it just does not have as many charges as Lightning Sentry, which makes it extremely hard to keep up for these extended fights. But it looks like we're gonna be all right. Man, he's using all of the abilities that I want him to, and he's dead. Ah, look at those drops. Those heavy boots would be fantastic. Those gauntlets, literally anything would be better than this. Ah. Too bad Diablo's not a rack. He has a nice rack, though, if I do say so. Well, Niraj served his purpose. I probably won't bring him back until maybe Ancients. We probably won't need him until then, but yeah. Very good. Alright guys, there you go. You get a pretty good insight into how the character's going through so far. Honestly, it's not bad. As you saw, like, we're pretty strong. Not really having any close calls anymore. 400 health is really good. Mana problems, not really that bad anymore as long as we use as many potions as we can hold. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'm really thankful for this amulet. Our rings are honestly pretty decent. This one could be better. And small upgrades, guys. Small upgrades. I think I5 should be okay. Alright, we're up on potions. And that's it. Alright, guys. If you're still watching, thank you so much for being here. Catch you in the next one. Shout out to the Double D Lover members that you see on the screen. And of course, a special shout out to Little Hoodison and Anna Varen for being Double D fanatics. If you guys want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. Link is in the description below. Thank you so much.